Hey guys, welcome to your first day of distance learning. This is going to be pretty painful for all of us, so just bear with me as I get used to this. And, obviously you can't ask me questions as we go, but during office hours, just get in touch with Miss Butler and I and ask us if there are things you're unclear with. All right, so today's lesson is the beginning of chapter 11, and we're going to talk about ratios, proportions, and similar polygons. All right, so first part, what's a ratio? So a ratio is simply an expression that compares two quantities by division. An expression that compares two quantities by division. You guys will see that my handwriting is way worse even on this thing than it was on the smartboard, so I'm sorry about that. But hopefully you can replay it if you missed something. All right, so an example, a ratio would be like, we're going by the definition and comparing them by division. Typically you'll see in our text and throughout this unit, we'll use fractions to represent that division. So for instance, A over B is a ratio. This same ratio can be expressed as A to B, or it can be expressed as A colon B, and they all represent the same thing. So when you're given a problem, if you're given it to one of these two latter formats, you really should go back and change it to a fraction. It would just be easier for you to solve problems using a fraction as opposed to these other forms of a ratio. All right, next, a proportion. A proportion is an equation of two ratios. Right? Essentially, you just set two ratios equal to one another, and you have a proportion. So an example of this would be the fact that like 1/2 is equal to 5/10. All right, 1/2 is equal to 5/10. This is an example of a proportion because we have two ratios that are equal to one another. You guys probably remember seeing this in Algebra 1. All right, now we're really hoping you remember from Algebra 1 how to solve a proportion. And the way you solve a proportion is by using cross multiplication. All right, in Algebra 1, your teacher hopefully would explain to you why this works, but essentially cross multiplication is a result of multiplying both sides of this fraction by their denominators, clearing both sides of fractions. We're just going to jump straight to what happens when you cross multiply. So remember, cross multiplication, we're going to multiply the 5 and the x together, and we're going to multiply the 4 and the 7 together, and then we'll set those two quantities equal to one another. So we get 4 times 7 is equal to 5 times x, which gives me 28 is equal to 5x. And then when we divide both sides by 5, we'll get x is equal to 28/5. All right, now I know that you all want to write that as 5.6, but don't be scared of fractions. Fractions are your friend. All right, next, the second one. What we're going to do is we're going to do cross multiplication again. And the reason this example is here is just to show you that when you're doing a monomial times a binomial, it's really important that you use a parentheses to make sure that you distribute. So when I cross multiply the 3 times the 2x plus 4 and the 4 times the x plus 5, I'm going to do so by using the distributive property. So I have 3 times 2x plus 4 is equal to 4 times x plus 5. And now when I distribute, I get 6x plus 12 is equal to 4x plus 20. Then I will subtract 4x from both sides, subtract 12 to both sides, and we're going to end up with 2x is equal to 8, and so we get x is equal to 4. And just like with any equation, you guys, you could always plug this back in and make sure that it works. So for instance, if I plug 4 in here, I get 3/9. 4 plus 5 is 9 there on the bottom. And if I plug in 4 here, I get 4 divided by, what is this? 8 plus 4 is 12. I get 4/12. And you'll notice that 3/9 does equal 4/12 because they're both equal to 1/3. So just like any equation, you can check your work and make sure it worked by plugging in whatever you found for your variable. Right, in example 3, things get a little bit harder because you'll notice when I cross multiply, the 4 times 3, that's no problem. I'm just going to get 12. But when I multiply x plus 1 and x plus 5, you'll notice I'm going to get a quadratic, and I'm going to have to actually FOIL that together. So a little gross looking there, but what we have is 3 times 4 is equal to x plus 1 times x plus 5. All right, so this gives me 12 is equal to, now I'm going to FOIL. I get x squared plus 5x plus 1x, so that would give me 6x, and then plus 5. Now, you know we have a quadratic equation, and just as painful as last time we did a quadratic, we got to set it equal to 0, and we got to factor it. So I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides, leaving me 0. It's a 0, not a 6, sorry. 0 is equal to x squared plus 6x minus 7. And then when I factor, what two numbers multiply to give me negative 7 while at the same time adding to positive 6? You get x plus 7 and x minus 1. All right, which gives me my two answers. By setting each one of these binomials equal to 0, I get x is equal to negative 7 or x is equal to 1. And you guys will notice in this case, x is nothing that represents part of a side length or anything, so we're going to go ahead and say that both answers are legit. They both work. There's no restrictions for negative side lengths or angles in solving an algebra equation. All right, so there is cross multiplication. Now, moving on to similar polygons. So, you guys, similarity is pretty darn close to the idea of congruency. The only difference is while the two polygons have corresponding parts and things like that, they're not going to be exactly the same. They're going to look the same, but one's going to be larger than the other one. So they'll have a little different size, but they're going to look the same correspondingly. All right, so in similar polygons, there's two parts to the definition. Two polygons are similar if their vertices can be paired such that all the corresponding angles are congruent, and all the corresponding side lengths are proportional. And you guys, this word proportional just means in the same ratio. All right, and we'll look at an example here in just a minute and see what that looks like. All right, now one other important part, just like with congruency, a couple things. One, this symbol means similarity. It means similar, okay? It's like the little top of the congruent sign. All right, so this, the tilde means similar. And a similarity statement is just like a congruency statement where you say, hey, triangle blah is congruent with triangle blah, but this time we're going to do it with similarity. So you may see a similarity statement that says, oh, look, triangle ABC is similar to triangle QRS. Now, if you see this statement, we know the triangles are similar, and by the definition, that means that all of their corresponding angles are congruent. So just by reading this without seeing a picture, I would know that angle A would have to be congruent to angle Q, and angle B would have to be congruent to angle R, and angle C would have to be congruent to angle S. Also, by the second part of the definition, I know that the corresponding sides are in the same ratio or proportional. So that would mean that AB over QR, that ratio, would have to equal BC over RS. They'd have to be proportional or in the exact same ratio based on where the letters are in the similarity statement. And that's how you tell if things are corresponding or not. All right, so just a quick example. If I ask you to tell me if polygons are similar to one another, you need to check both parts of the definition. Now you can tell by looking at this that you know angle B is congruent to angle Z, it's given, and angle C, so angle B is congruent to angle Z, angle C is congruent to angle W, angle D is congruent to angle X, and angle E is congruent to angle Y. This part right here is the first part of that definition. The first part of the definition is that you have to have corresponding angles being congruent, and we've established that that is true. Every single angle in this polygon has a corresponding angle over here that is congruent to it. The second part of the definition is to ensure that the side lengths are proportional. And when you're doing that, just be really careful you're matching up the corresponding sides. So notice over here that the 2 is between the 1 arc and the 2 arcs. So when I am doing the similarity for this side and setting up the proportion for this polygon over here, I'm going to use the 1 to go with the 2. Notice the 2 is between the 2 arcs and the 1 arc, and over here the 1 is between the 2 arcs and the 1 arc. So they're corresponding sides. And I want to see if those pair of sides, those lengths, are proportional to all the other ones. So here I know that the 6 is between the 2 arcs and the 3 arcs, and over here the 3 is between the 2 arcs and the 3 arcs. So I'm going to see if that fraction is the same. Also, I have that this side length is 3. This is between 3 arcs and 4 arcs, and the corresponding side over here is 1.5. So I want to see if that ratio is the same. And then finally, I've got the last pair of sides there, the 4. This is between the 1 mark and the 4 marks, and the 2 is between the 1 arc and the 4 arcs. So I'm going to set those up as a pair of corresponding sides. And I just want to see now if all of these are proportional or the same ratio. And if you simplify this, you get 2. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 3 divided by 1.5 is 2. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. So you'll notice throughout this entire process, when I matched up all pairs of corresponding sides, they gave me the exact same ratio. So by definition, all of the angles are congruent to the corresponding angles in this polygon, and all of these side lengths are in the same ratio or proportional to the side lengths in this polygon they correspond to, then yes, the polygons are similar. And then for your similarity statement, you'd simply say polygons B, C, D, E is similar to, not a triangle, sorry about that, polygon, and I'm going to just be very careful, just like with congruency, to match up the corresponding sides or vertices, and I get Z, W, X, Y. And that is similarity. All right, hopefully that wasn't too painful.